We built a garden bed. I want to take you along and show you what we did. What is he doing? We've been working so hard inside. There's so much to do. But we live in the burbs. I moved from the city to the burbs. So if I'm gonna live in the burbs, I'm gonna get something out of it. It's no secret that lumber prices are significantly higher since the pandemic. I wanted to make this garden bed beautiful and affordable. So I found a design on another YouTube channel, Patriot DIY, and he uses wood and steel. I've linked it below so you can go and check it out if you'd like. To get started, I had to figure out the spot in our yard which gets the most light in the spring and summer. For us, that was the front of our yard, which gets light early and then all day before the house blocks the sun in the evening. Once we found our location, we split up. My husband dug out our location and then leveled the space where our frame would sit. I got to work on drilling and cutting the pieces of the frame. There are 4 stages to this garden bed from start to finish: building the frame, attaching the sides, filling the bed, and then planting. Okay, there are 4 reasons why a garden bed is a good idea. 1 is dirt. You get to control the dirt that's in the garden bed. 2 is weeds. It's much easier to keep the weeds out of the garden bed if it's not down where all the weeds are living. 3, bunnies. We have so many bunnies that live in our area, and you know what bunnies do. Bunnies make a lot more bunnies. So we need to keep them out of there. So the higher the garden bed is, the less likely the bunnies are going to eat my garden. And the final one is that it's much easier to work when it's higher up and you're not bending over into the dirt. Our garden bed is 8 feet by 4 feet. Once we had the wood cut to the right lengths and the pocket holes drilled, we put the sides together. We're just starting out, and you can see we don't have any fancy table stands or workspaces. And we just have the basic tools for right now. We put this frame together on top of an old entertainment center. It did take 2 of us because we hadn't yet bought a bunch of clamps to act as extra hands to hold things together. Our garden bed is sitting outside all year, so it's going to be exposed to all the weather: hot sun in the summer, rain, and snow and ice in the winter. Before we attach the walls, I stained the wood to give it some protection from the weather. We'll probably have to reapply it every spring, and it still won't last forever, but it should give this garden bed a little bit more time. Thanks to the magic of editing, you can see we bought some clamps. We tried attaching the walls without them, and it just wasn't going to work. We used 3-inch deck screws to attach the walls. Since we're using cedar, one hot tip is to make sure not to use iron or regular galvanized screws. This kind of metal will stain because of a reaction within the cedar wood. With step 1 complete, we moved it into place and on to step 2. Once the frame was in place, I decided I wanted 1 more coat of sealer. So I added this before attaching the corrugated steel sides. I attached the sides to the inside of the frame using self-tapping screws. I put screws vertically on all the braces and about every 18 inches along the length of the long sides. The steel sheets were 8 feet by 4 feet, which is why we built the frame to this size. This meant we didn't need to cut them at all. After I attached all the sides, my husband attached a top rail to cover the top edge of the steel sheet so we could lean against the wood and not risk getting a cut from the steel sheet edge.
Higgle Coulter, Higgle Kelter, Higgle Coulter, Higgle Kilter, Higgle Coulter. To fill the garden bed with straight compost or potting soil would cost a fortune. So what we do instead is Hügelkultur. It's a German method for putting wood, pieces, mulch, anything else you can find from your yard that's not weeds that will go in there and start to break down, giving nutrients to the bottom of the garden bed, and then you put the compost on top. So each year you'll just put more compost on top, and the rotting wood, like this stuff, these are some grapevines, will just add nutrients and soak on through.
Once we finished the top rail, we were finally ready to fill the bed. Like the inside of our house, the outside of our house has a ton of stuff we were digging, cutting, removing. We started with the bigger logs, then piled sticks as a second layer, and then smaller sticks and leaves as a third layer. This filled the bed up to about 3 feet. Above that, we bought garden bed soil. As you can see in this video, we severely underestimated the amount of soil we needed on our first attempt. So we did add another 8 bags after this first round. If this all works as planned, we'll add soil each year as the soil settles down into the gaps between the sticks and the stumps. We're finally ready to plant. I did a lot of research about the spacing, and I'm sure I don't have everything right. I made a grid so I could put the plants into rows and give them enough space from the others. It's our first year growing anything. I put lettuce, kale, jalapeno peppers, and red cabbage into the bed. The plan is to get the lettuce out before the cabbages and kale get too big. The soil's in, the plants are in, and we have a beautiful garden bed. Our neighbors keep asking where we got the plants to make it, if we came up with it ourselves. So huge thanks to Patriot DIY for putting that out there. Stick around to see what this city girl can grow.